Round 22 of the Premier League, Blues Bees. And it's all locked up at half-time. Fawkner 1, Werribee 1. Critical clash for Werribee, not so Fawkner. Really safe from relegation out of the top 5 race, unless something extraordinary happens. Perhaps a win here would get them on the right road, as Bonini goes straight up the middle and drives it over the crossbar. Ransford Bonini. And what a compelling player he is to watch. Bonini stands the ball at half field, squares it for Kuzman, looks up, awkward one, tough for Scapano. Checking back is Crivari, gets the lucky break, does Mario Crivari. Stutter step, spears the pass through the gap for Rattray, runs onto it on the angle, does well, does Carlos Rattray. First time cross, far post, and away courageously. Back header by Napoli to clear it. Well, you wouldn't back Fawkner with bad money, though. I mean, their run home after this match is Port Melbourne, Bulleen, North Geelong and Sunshine, 4 of the top 5 sides. And the Blues this afternoon, I mean, if they can't punish Werribee, you would have to say Paul Williams. But they wouldn't have a chance as Bonini skirts around the defence, the crossbar post, Werribee away. Difficult one. Rattray battled for it. Bees come clear. Through Georgieski. And that outer sideline, standing his ground, is Kuzman. And Werribee, this time with a full-back, Napoli. Skirts inside his man. Well played by Jimmy Goulis. Blues will get the sideline ball, or will they? Markowski says no. Ending his way up to take the throw in. Rob Napoli. Tosses downfield. Goulis again, too good. Branov inside, looks up, knocks it. Long and high for the running Daddy Njidic. Njidic ears away if it doesn't stick on the surface. Well played, Njidic squares it. Difficult one. Kuzman again. Knocks the up and under. This time for Goulis, who appears in the front half. Gets the cross. It takes the cannon over the line for a Werribee. A Fawkner corner. But you would suspect, Paul, that as I said, if the Blues can't punish Werribee this afternoon, they wouldn't stand a chance against the calibre of the teams they've got to come in the schedule before the end of the regular season.
Yeah, you'd expect them to come away with at least a 2-goal win here if they're to sound...
Well, you would not have expected that. He was about 3 kilometres away from the target when the corner came in from Carlos Rattray. He knocked a header, and in Yiddish, almost nonchalantly, and it looped over the head of goalkeeper Messina. He watched it go into the net, almost mesmerised.
Andrulakis. Napoli. Anything on the left foot? Not a lot. Finds Andrulakis. Won the volley. Good try. Was certainly going towards goal and still spinning. Minicello settles things down. Bonini forward. Well played there. Georgieski down the line to Goran Georgieski. Brought in on. Tidy play. A nice clearance. Branov being quiet in the second half. He's looked a class player though. Has to get stuck in a bit there, Branov, which he did.
Yeah, and this is where Mick Branov gets himself unstuck all the time. Mick, player of some considerable ability, but he's been renowned as a player who can be frustrated out of a game. And clearly that's happening again. His opposite number has taken him to task fairly physically. in the last 20 minutes or so, and it's starting to tell on Mick. He better learn to keep his yap shut. And he still wants to go on with it with the referee now. Somewhat stupidly.
A poor free kick when he's got 9 teammates in the area and he's got to get it off the ground there. This is do or die stuff. No time for little flicks with the outside of the foot.
Trouble here.
And Fawkner can catch them on the break. The flag's up.
So is this fellow, Jimmy Goulis. In fact, the two wide men of Fawkner, Goulis on the left and Mario Cravari on the right, have been terrific.
Oh, and Serra there kept his eye on the opponent rather than the ball. Minicello, quite a second half, nicely cuts inside.
Well, late call by Jim Markowski, but it was clearly a free kick.
Wins the free kick. Rattray, the dead ball specialist, comes across to take this. 2 men in the wall. Plenty forward for Fawkner. Can they finish Werribee off? Bonini wants it short. And Smart comes out to close down that option. Far post, keeper stays. Nidic off the line. And Danny Nidic almost scored his second head in the second half.
I think it was finally John Valesi.
And there he is, Valesi again. He's had a great game. Forward, here's Minicello. Look, waiting for support. Rattray, oh, great cross from Minicello there. Nidic just a little too aggressive with his challenge there.
Well, he stuck out 2 palms and gave it to Rob Napoli, square in the shoulder blades. In Serra, somebody put him on the deck and get some mud on him. Here he goes, in Serra past through. No, he's still clean. Well done, son. He'll get the throw in. Look, not a spot on him. I'm rooting for the first bloke that can put him on the deck. Bees forward. In Serra, waiting for the pass. Here he goes again. Get him, Serra. Oh, he got the pass away. Bees forward.
Awkward.
Ferraro. Trying to drive from about 40 out. Wasn't too far away, but no sweat really.
Oh, poor clearance. Minicello's in here. Can he finish them off? Bruno Minicello. 1-on-1. Surely this is it. And it's Nidic. He grabs it second. And Fawkner seal off a victory which they will feel may keep them inside the finals race. And Werribee gave away.
And there will not be a hole, a pothole, a bomb crater big enough for Enzo Messina to dive into right at this point. Ever had a day, Enzo, when you've woken up as Homer Simpson? Well, we've now played, well, nearly 4 minutes of garbage time in the second half. As the final whistle goes, Jimmy Markowski said it's all over Red Rover on a dark and dreary Sunday afternoon in July.
Tony, well done. How did you see today's game from the coach's point of view?
I think we play brilliant. Matter of fact, we have to give the credit to the other team because they fight very well and they surprise me. They play well too, but I think we play brilliant. We create chances. Unfortunately, we couldn't take them, and then they score on a break, and that was uphill battle all the time. Lucky we come back in the first half, so that gave us a bit of morale to go on second half and win it.
You've got some great talent in your lineup, players like Rattray, Minicello and Nidic and Ransford Bonini. There'd be some people that say with that talented squad you should be higher up in the ladder.
Well, they should have been before I come, matter of fact, because they play 11 matches with only 3 wins, and they're all technical players. And at that time, the grounds were very good, in good condition. and unfortunately they slip very, very much behind. And when I come, we lost 6-7 players through the injuries, and the grounds become like this. So Retro, Menikel, and so on, that's not their cup of coffee, you know, those grounds. But we did well today, so I hope that we, from now on, we could do even better.
So there you have it, 3-1 the final score at Duke's Road. Werribee just running out of steam in the second half. Danny Nidic, the difference between the two sides in the second half there with 2 goals, 1 a looping header and 2, well, the second goal I think the Werribee goalkeeper will want to forget for sure. But that's a good win for Fawkner. It moves them closer to a top 5 place. And Werribee, well, they're looking right down the barrel now. In fact, they're gone. They really are a State League Division 1 side next year. They were without a few players though today. Surich, Calderwood and Donnelly all missed the starting 11 for Werribee for one reason or another, Greg. So they were an under-strength side, but they just didn't have what it took at the end of the day.
Lost the plot in the end, did Werribee. Stevie Douglas, the player coach tried to lead by inspiration, but there really wasn't much there in the petrol tanks. And it's a little bit sad because the Werribee City Club, since they've joined the Premier League, have been preeminent in trying to promote soccer in the Western Suburban region, and it's sad in that respect that we'll be losing their representation in the Showpiece League. As for Fawkner, again, as I said, frustration for them in many respects. And let's talk about the top 5 for the Blues, Paul. You wouldn't back them with bad money, mate. They've got Port Melbourne, Bulleen, North Geelong and Sunshine to come in the last 4 weeks of the season. So I think you can strike a black mark through Fawkner for the rest of the year, but they should have a long, hard look at themselves down there because another season of underachieving for the Blues. Lots of talent, and they won't be there when it counts. Paulie, lots of other action too in round 22 of the Victorian Premier League. Let's have a run through what happened, what transpired on this 5th last week of the season.
First result to look at then, it's Sunshine against Doncaster. It's Sunshine Georgies 5, Doncaster Rovers 1.
Yes, and we can say goodbye to Doncaster Rovers as well after one season in the Premier League. Scoreless at half-time in this one. Archie McGeechee sent off lots of action. Archie McGeechee sent off 32 minutes in for a foul on Jim Sherifovsky in that match. Left the Rovers down to 10 men after half-time. 5-goal blitz by the Georgies, and Sherifovsky got 2. That kid can play, and as I said here on this program a couple of weeks ago, I think he'll be a key player for the Sunshine Georgies in the finals.
All right, the next game, Preston Lions 0, St Albans Saints 2.
Well, apparently not a terrific standard of game up there at the Connor Reserve, but Ivan Kalina starring in his return from suspension for the Saints, and a good result for them in the second game under their new coach, Goran Runya. And 2 coaching changes in the last couple of weeks. That's 7 that have changed places during the year. So exactly half the Premier League coaches that started the season are no longer with us. Well, they're not dead, of course. They've just, they're not in the same job. Press on, Paul.
OK, third game. Bulleen Lions 2, Box Hill Enter 2.
OK, controversial one here. A penalty to Peter Lutkins in the 62nd minute. His second goal of the game, getting Bulleen an equaliser against Box Hill. Peter Saros, of course, last year's top scorer in the Premier League. Mark my words, Paul. Got his first goal for Box Hill against the club that didn't want to sign him. So a little bit of irony there. And the... well, a little bit of a worry. Jeff Olver, the former Socceroo goalkeeper, now in goal for Bulleen. He was taken to hospital with a very serious head injury. 24 minutes into the game after a clash with Gary Frazzini. Frazzini scoring for Box Hill. And I'm not trying to turn this into a Hollywood production here, but lots happening. Damien Beattie took over from Olver in goal. And Beattie had only flown in from Germany at 5:30 a.m. yesterday morning, so he didn't have much time to prepare. He was over there at a goalkeeping clinic. So plenty happening at the Veneto Club yesterday. Thank you.
Next result.
Please press on, Paul.
Springvale City Vales 1, Green Gully Cavaliers 3.
Well, Springvale might be the death knell for them, and the biggest piece of action out there, the old veteran Chris Ketsakides scoring with a spectacular overhead kick. The Greens, the Cavaliers coming from behind to win 3-1 at Ross Reserve.
Let's catch up with the leaders. The Port Melbourne Sharks 3, Albion Red Sox 1.
Well, I mean, it's a given now, isn't it? The Sharks are going to win every game that they ever play. But the interesting one there, Albion's Tony Chianta, actually the shortest appearance as a substitute this year. He came on and was sent off within 60 seconds for a foul. So well done, Tony. Big effort. It's not easy to do that, to earn the ire of the referee in such double quick time. So Tony Chianta, well done.